And we start with that breaking news here at 5. Metro Police tell us they're now trying to figure out what led up to this shooting that involved 4 men.
And one of those men died and another 3 were hurt. All of this happening just after noon near East 38th Street and Emerson Avenue.
This on the northeast side of Indianapolis, and that's where at this hour we find Karen Campbell joining us live with what she's learned. Karen?
Hey. Ann and Felicia, well, we have learned, you mentioned 4 people have been shot. One of those men died, another in critical condition, 2 more are in stable condition. So we are right now at about 35th and Wallace Avenue, and you can see where we are. This is a taped off area all the way from this intersection all the way to where police are focusing on. We have evidence markers in the road. They're still investigating this, trying to piece together what happened. If you take a look, you see a few officers in the road standing behind a beige SUV. I want you to focus on this olive green house, the 4th house from the intersection. That is where police say they found one of those men shot and killed. Another man in that house is in stable condition. Now, the 2 other men, they say a short time later during their investigation, police found a 3rd man behind a home that was across the street. That man was also taken to the hospital, and a 4th man, they say, who was shot was found about a block away. That man is listed in stable condition. Now, while police say they don't yet have a motive, some neighbors have speculated that this could have been the result of a robbery. Take a listen to what police had to say.
There are people who are cooperating with the police, and that's helpful with an investigation like this. But we need information from others in the public, whether it be people who saw something, people who have video cameras that recorded the incident or saw the suspects leaving the scene.
Again, because that is information that's very important to police. They say check your doorbell camera footage because any small piece of evidence can help. Whether you heard something or saw something you're not sure about, they just want you to call them. As I mentioned, this is a very large crime scene. We have a couple of blocks that are actually blocked off. Police expect to be here for, they say, several hours. It's already been about 5 hours, and they're still trying to piece together information in this case. Again, 4 men shot, 1 died, 1 in critical condition, 2 are in stable condition tonight.
All right, Karen Campbell bringing us the very latest from the near northeast side tonight. Thank you so much. Also tonight, the Madison County coroner is trying to figure out what killed a person who was found in a burning home.
The fire happened just about 4 hours ago in Anderson. When firefighters got there, they learned of a person trapped inside the house who they found dead when they got inside.
They're now working to determine the cause of that fire.
The weather impacts today, cold, and yes, the day started with a little bit of snow across the southern part of our area, and we have 2 more rounds of snow on the way. Let's start with the cold. Temperatures in the teens right now, 16 in Indianapolis and Columbus, 19 degrees in Bedford, feeling like the single digits. Current wind chill in the capital city is 4. Cold weather advisories in effect for the southern part of our state and as you go south, and these are cold weather warnings from the Canadian border all the way through South Texas. We're also dealing with that developing winter storm. The winter storm will have impacts tonight through tomorrow, even across parts of central Indiana. Now, the heavy snow will stay to our south, but if you are along 70 or south, coating perhaps up to 1 inch. Bloomington, Columbus, Bedford, 1 inch or 2. The highest totals will be across the southern sections of our state and points south. To the timeline, no issues early this evening. It will be overnight and early tomorrow that this first wave of snow arrives. I'll have more on this and another one coming our way.
Thanks, Angela. And don't forget, you can always use the Live Doppler 13 weather app to make sure that you're up to date on the low temperatures and the chance for rain or precipitation. You can get it in your phone's app store, and as always, that download is free.
Right now, IMPD detectives are searching for the driver responsible for hitting and killing a woman in the middle of downtown. This happened during the morning rush hour at the intersection of West Michigan and Illinois streets.
Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick was at the scene, and tonight she provides an update on the investigation and where the city stands on preventing pedestrian deaths just like this.
This is the intersection where police say that fatal hit and run happened this morning. Witnesses saying the driver took off northbound before officers could arrive, now marking the 3rd pedestrian death this year.
middle of morning rush hour. Crime scene tape blocking off a busy downtown intersection. Investigators say a woman was crossing at Michigan and Illinois when she was hit. Coworkers confirmed to 13 News she was an employee at the nearby office building and was heading into work.
And we're appreciative of the witnesses that have stayed here at the scene and cooperated with our detectives and our officers so that we can help find the person responsible for this.
The death adds to a growing pedestrian problem in Indy. So far this year, Safe Streets Indy has tracked 3 deaths and 67 people hit, leaving many to wonder, where does the city stand on its Vision Zero plan? So far, the task force has only met twice since forming last summer. Their goal is to eliminate traffic fatalities by 2035. The chair explaining it's a marathon, not a sprint.
So ideally, we could make these changes and make these improvements for pedestrians and cyclists today, but we can't. We have a lot of sunk costs. We have a lot of infrastructure we need to change over time. So that's just a long, intentional, step-by-step process.
As the task force works on solutions, investigators are determined to find the driver responsible for another pedestrian death.
Again, IMPD detectives are asking anyone with information to reach out to them or Crime Stoppers. We have both of those numbers on our website right now at WTHR.com. In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
At this time, IMPD not providing a description of the vehicle involved, the vehicle that was a hit and run in this case. We also at this hour are waiting to learn the name of the woman who was killed. As soon as we do, we'll let you know.
And we've just learned the name of the man killed in a hit and run on Indy's north side. Detectives believe 43-year-old Lamont Curtis was riding a scooter on Keystone Avenue when he was hit by a vehicle. IMPD says this happened near 62nd and Rural Street the evening of January 25th. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition and ended up dying from his injuries a couple weeks later. The driver who hit him took off before officers arrived. Police are still investigating.
The Morgan County prosecutor now says that an 18-year-old Mooresville high school senior who stands accused of planning a mass shooting on her school campus Valentine's Day is a threat to the community.
Rich Nye was in the courtroom this morning as lawyers argued how high bail should be set for Trinity Shockley.
Trinity Shockley was in the courtroom for a bail review hearing early Tuesday morning. The prosecution is asking for very high bail, a $500,000 surety bond plus $250,000 cash bond.
This is Shockley being escorted in shackles out of the Morgan County Courthouse after the hearing. The prosecution presented evidence of Shockley's infatuation with mass shooters, including photos of them on display in her bedroom and on buttons attached to her school backpack. Shockley allegedly exchanged 7,000 messages with another person on the social media platform Discord, talking about violence and planning the Mooresville High School shooting at lunchtime on Valentine's Day. Shockley's attorney argued this is all words and bond should be standard, as low as $2,000 cash. The judge is reviewing the evidence, which includes the video of Shockley's one-hour interview with Mooresville police, before ruling on bail. In Morgan County, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Now tonight at 6, Rich has more on Shockley's alleged plot to carry out what she called Parkland Part 2 in court records and why prosecutors think she specifically got a job at Subway. Now, we've been following this story closely since we first brought you the breaking news of Shockley's arrest last week, and we're going to keep following it as this situation develops on air, in the courtroom, and online. You can find more on this story at WTHR.com.
Tonight, the Marion County coroner is identifying a 24-year-old woman who was found dead in a neighborhood on the near north side of Indianapolis.
Officers found 24-year-old Teresha Gray with trauma inside a home near East 16th and Central Avenue Sunday night. They were there to do a welfare check a couple nights ago, and then they ended up pronouncing her dead on the scene.
At this hour, police are asking community members that have information to please step forward and help with the investigation.
The head of the U.S. Postal Service is stepping down.
He has asked the USPS Board of Governors to start the process of identifying his successor. In a letter to the governing board, Louis DeJoy wrote that it's important that the Postal Service is well positioned for future success under new leadership.
DeJoy pushed for major cuts after taking the job in 2020 to help make the post office profitable. The USPS did not say when DeJoy plans to officially step down as the Postmaster General. And DeJoy's announcement comes as we continue to learn of problems at the new USPS hub in Indianapolis. Our Lauren Kostick's been following this story since end of last year, and just last week, she got this video showing all the packages piling up in the hub. And as Lauren first reported last night on 13 News at 5, she's learned of even more hubs across the country that are seeing similar problems. You can read her previous reports and see how Hoosier lawmakers in Washington are responding on our website. A bill banning transgender women from playing on women's college sports teams in Indiana is moving forward at the State House. Supporters of the bill say it's about protecting women in sports, and those against say it's about politics. And it appears to have a lot of people supporting it. It passed out of the House by a vote of 71 to 25, and it will now head to the Senate, where it will go before Senate committee. And state senators will hear testimony on this as well.